sort of ritual along with an intricate diagram of symbols that meant nothing to me at the time. The largest section, marked with a black ribbon, told of the city-state of Zuxal, a frontier outpost of some ancient people long dead. I can't remember all of it, and frankly, I'm glad. All I can remember is that these people were real degenerates, wicked and barbaric. They worshipped a dark god named Zaster or Haster. They offered living sacrifices to him. Slaves, men, women, children were all butchered by the thousands in his name, Haster, Zaster. Zuxal's reign was long, but like most, they fell to a slave revolt no less. According to the book, the revolt was led by a man from the sky. I'm not sure what that means, but whoever he was, the slaves claimed he descended from the heavens and struck down the accursed witch people of Zuxal. When I relayed all of this to my companions, Jack stared at me dumbfounded. He quickly joined me at the pedestal. As I read the rest, Jack whistled and laughed. He was very excited, stating that if authenticated, this book could set modern anthropology and archaeology on its ear, whatever that meant. I could care less that the ancient Mississippians were derived from some slave race. What I did care about was what I found at the end of the section, where it talked about the guardian idol. I found a likeness of the statue that Delia gave to Rouse, only as if it had been undamaged and new, before it was eroded into its current state. The blob-like creature perched atop the pillar wasn't a toad at all, but some demonic ape-looking thing.
Speaking of which, where is the idol?
I would have not brought stolen property that I didn't tell him I had back to his house.
The page showed another detail, not of the idol, which actually wasn't the subject of the drawing at all, but of a gigantic round stone door, and it was labeled the Door of Za. It seemed to me that the picture was showing that the idol was guarding the door. Mind you, my French was shaky at the time. According to the passage just after the drawing, just beyond the door of Za was this sleeping Zastur. I turned to see Jack closely inspecting the calendar behind me, muttering something about Mayan, Aztec design, blah, blah, Mississippian markings, blah, blah. He noticed me looking at him and he pointed out two symbols, one for return and the other was for darkness. I pieced it together pretty quickly, the return of the dark god Zastur. Jack's eyes widened as he deciphered more. He pointed to the center of the symbol that was repeated throughout the piece. The professor said that, literally translated, it was the longest day, what you would call the summer solstice. His trap opened, but nothing came out but a slight squeak. His eyes looked at me, and his silent lips mouthed one word: tomorrow.
Is that symbol on this calendar? This little scroll, little circle?
The circle?
Yeah.
Yes, that is the symbol for the darkness.
Oh, great.
I definitely believe that we're probably wasting valuable time looking over these artifacts now.
So what do you suggest, Father?
Well, aren't we looking for some... The doctor mentioned something about missing children.
Correct.
I think that's a pretty pressing matter.
I agree, Father. The question is, where do we go from here? I mean,
Well, this girl that was hit and died was onto something. I think they killed her.
and she mentioned a baby and
And a boy. I assume
Should
some
be
boy
the-
missing or a baby missing.
the Price boy and the Heiberg baby.
I don't think she was on to anything. I think she was sacrifice. We spoke to Leonard Price Sr. He had declined to join the society. We believe that his son's kidnapping was 2 years in the making.
Price.
Price. It's very probable that Laclede was dating Millen for similar reasons.
What about that, Falstaff? Would it be within this society's realm to enact revenge on someone who turned them down by kidnapping a son?
That is something that they would do, and I believe have done.
It doesn't sound as if that's a requirement. They've sacrificed children for
Well,
years.
I understand that, but
Where
this
did
family, he specifically told them no, and was
Mr. Falstaff,
a veiled threat.
Mr. Falstaff, do you have any inclination at all as to where they might be keeping these children?
I do not know exactly where they are. No.
No, you couldn't even venture to guess where a possibility might be.
Unless they know where the gate is.
The location of the door of Za is the key. It is where they will enact their foul rite.
Yeah, the gate is located in Monk's Mound. That's all the information that we've found. It would seem to indicate to me that it's located in Monk's Mound. Surely they know its location. They've been able to dig to it, and they might be digging right now as we speak. I think we should make haste to across the river to Illinois and go to Monk's Mound. I think it's a shot in the dark, but it's certainly worth the trip. It's not that far. I think it's a safe bet that the Cahokia Mound it's clearly involved. It's right at the center of this. I mean, it's mentioned so many times, and there's so many artifacts and this wall calendar here. This is early Mississippi, and this was dug up in a mound. This was recovered from a mound.
As groups of this size are wont to do, we continue to argue over our next move. The doc wanting to continue investigating the dead girl by going to the house of the Archibald Cleed, Father Leary wanting to go searching nearby for missing children, but in the end, Jack's idea seemed to be the most sound. We stood there in silence for a moment until Charles sniffed loudly, then composed himself.
It pains me to ask that you undertake this. It is very dangerous, and I am afraid that I will not be able to assist directly. I fear that the Society has too much influence over me. It is why my previous attempt to stop them failed. I can be of some help, though. I have read Billy's journal many times. I know the sections of the manuscript you need, though I cannot read the words. I have placed markers near the passages you need.
Falstaff stood there, placing his hand on the book I held, tears in his eyes.
Stop this. At all costs. Take the book with you. Use the incantations within to seal the gate. And then, destroy it.
Thank you for listening. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of the Stygian Fragment. Please check for further episodes posted on our website, gamerstable.com. Theme music by Thomas Grillo. Background music by Musica Cthulhiana. Openly Gamer Theater would like to thank H.P. Lovecraft for giving us Cthulhu. Any commercial use of this production is prohibited. Call of Cthulhu role-playing game is property of Chaosium Incorporated. Openly Gamer Theater is trademark property of Side Tangent Productions.